Hello! Today I would like to show you one of the best builds for the Striga users. This build is amazing because you can use it in standard PvE, but you can also take it to Nightfalls, even GMs, it works, Mercos there. It's a really good one. It's focused on quite a lot of damage and also really good crowd control. And if you are seeking something like number 9 Wonkisher or number 10, where you need to do the lost sectors, so far it works there perfectly. So now let's get to it. So, as we mentioned before, you have Striga and you have Necrotic Grip. These two exotics are essential for what we are wanting to achieve. Because when you kill with this amazing SMG, you will like spread poison, and if this poison kills somebody, it will also reload this weapon and it can overflow this weapon up to like 105 or something like that shots in magazine, which basically changes this SMG into LMG, which is amazing. And also the Striga perfectly works with this weapon because when you kill somebody with melee, you will trigger poison, and if this poison kills somebody, it will reload and overflow your Striga. You see the point there, right? Also, it works with poison, because when you kill somebody with poison, it will again spread the poison. And this poison can be applied through your melee or through your Striga, which is absolutely amazing. You have two sources of quite good damage because, let's be honest, the poison works really, really well. And right now, there's a bug. If you apply poison on boss and switch to some weapon which has Warpal on it and keep holding this weapon, the poison will basically reset itself. So it will go to maximum damage, explode and reset, and again maximum damage, explode and reset. Which is amazing if you need like to take cover somewhere. I was using it in Lost Sector on Master when I wanted to get the Flawless because I poisoned the boss. And I just ran away and was slowly dying, and I could get my health back, wait a short time for my super, and so on. It's really comfy. It also works perfectly in GMs where you need just to tag the boss. Right now, one where it is quite handful is Glassway, because you don't want to face boss directly there. He will delete you, but if you attack the boss with the poison and then just hide, kill the champions and so on, you know, then this poison will still work. It's amazing, honestly. And it doesn't need to be fusion rifle, it can be even heavy like this one, but holding heavy, let's say, it's not that good. But you can also use something like, let's say, this SMG, which has Warpal. So you can still use weapon, you can still kill enemies with this SMG, while your Striga is still doing the damage. Now, you may see that I'm using Broodweaver. That's because it works perfectly there. How it works? Basically, I'm utilizing Shackle Grenade and Mincepan Invocation. What it does is basically I will hold my grenade button and I will consume this grenade, and when I kill somebody, it will spread like explosion, and this explosion will hold enemies in the air. And I'm combining it with Threat of Continuity, which will increase duration of this Suspend. Suspend is debuff which is holding enemies in the air. And then I'm of course using something like Threat of Generation, which is giving me back my grenade energy, and it's only based on damage dealt. So while my Striga and poisons deal damage, it will slowly regenerate my grenade. It's awesome. I'm using Threat of Finality not because of Threadlings, but because I want to have 100 in recovery. And finally, I'm using Threat of Binding, which I'm using only for Restlance. These two are not important, you can change it for whatever you want. If you have enough resilience, I would definitely say use Threat of Warding, because this thing, when you pick up Orb of Power, it will give you like 60% damage reduction, which is awesome. For the rest of things you can have on your super. You cannot choose your melee, but this melee is pretty good. And I will be utilizing it together with Striga. Just to explain how unraveling works. Basically, you tag enemy to unravel them, and it will stack debuff on them. And if you deal damage to this enemy, there will be like little green things which will deal damage to this enemy and also enemies nearby. And since my Striga will be dealing damage to this enemy, it will trigger this, but you need to shoot the enemy again and again. You cannot rely on poison only on this thing, so I'm using it usually against champion, because I will tag the champion with melee, I will shoot him with Striga, and if this enemy is not in the air, I will try to kill some enemy nearby, or I will even throw the shackle grenade and I will just kill this enemy. The best part is that suspending enemy, basically throwing them in the air, works against all champions. It doesn't matter if it's Overload, Unstoppable, or Barrier. If these champions are in the air, they cannot use their special ability. So Barrier champions cannot create barrier, Unstoppable cannot charge you, and Overloads cannot shoot you, basically. And you will stun them with your Striga. Also, Shackle Grenade stuns Unstoppable champions, so only one which you don't have stuff to deal with is Barrier Champion, but since the Barrier Champion will be in the air, he cannot cast the barrier, so you should be able to kill this enemy. I'm usually using heavy like Retrofit, Escapade, or something similar. It doesn't need to be exactly this weapon. That's because when I suspend enemy, I want to have something to kill them, and usually I would use rocket launcher, but you know, when you are in close range and you use rocket launcher, you explode yourself, and that's quite painful. For the mods, let's look at them. As you can see, I have 3 times Kinetic Siphon. Every single mod after first one gives you slight bonus, but this bonus gets lower and lower. But since I will not be getting kills with my melee nor with my grenades, because you know I'm using crowd control grenade, this is my only way to get the orbs, and I want the orbs because those orbs will work with kinetic weapon surge. What it does is basically it increases my damage output of my kinetic weapon, which is Striga by the way, by 17%. And I'm using only 2 of them, as you may see. This is really handful if you are in harder content, because you want to proc the kills, you know. Also, I'm using time dilatation, its own class item. What it does is basically when I activate search, it will prolong it, and I'm using it 2 times. So it will always work for a longer time. It works for like 15 seconds, I think, with those 2 mods, 15 or 17 seconds, something like that. And you can have in base 3 charges, so you have quite a lot of time to deal increased damage. Then for the chest, I'm always changing these mods accordingly to activity where I go, because there's always some kind of burn or danger or threat. And that means that enemies who deal this kind of damage, let's say there is void threat, then I would use at least 2 times void resistance just to be safe, you know, to survive more. I'm using kinetic loader because if I'm in GM or something like that, it happens that I won't kill enemy in 1 magazine, so I want to be able to reload really fast, because not always in hard content I will have like huge magazine numbers, but in lower content you will see that it's quite easy to get to high numbers. And then of course I'm using impact induction. This, what it does is basically when I deal melee damage, it will give me part of my grenade back, and I want to have as much grenade recovery as I can get, because I need to proc and eat this grenade to be able to stun enemies. Now, just let me show you how it works. I will eat the grenade, and I get Weaver Trance. and then I just kill some enemy. As you may see, they just explode and hang in the air, and I have 100 ammo in my magazine. Now, if I were in GM, those enemies wouldn't die instantly. They would hang in the air and wait silently for me and my team to kill them. And also you can pick up the balls you create, but let's say that you don't need it, because the poison and Striga is usually quite enough. My Weaver strength is over, so I just eat another grenade because I have it. Don't hide, come on. See, it's absolutely awesome. The add clear potential of this build is top tier, and same goes for dealing with pests like mini bosses and so on. Another nade. Also with Striga, remember that while you are shooting the boss, it will spread poison from this boss to nearby enemies. Do you see the numbers? That's the poison and also the unravel. Now I will show you how to utilize the Warple. Basically, I see enemy, I will apply my melee, I will shoot the Striga, wait for explosion, and then I switch. And I just wait. And this is how you kill boss in Glassway, if you have a lot of time and you want to be safe. And as you can see, the numbers are going up. Oh, oh. Now there will be a lot of enemies down there. It looks awesome, right? I love it. There's one more enemy somewhere. Okay, no enemy. Okay guys, I hope this will be somehow useful to you. I hope you will enjoy the Striga. After all, it's amazing weapon. Yeah? Okay, see ya later. Bye. I need more friends.